Ultimately, I am optimistic about the future, but it certainly will require important course corrections from the path that we're on. History with respect to trade wars isn't very encouraging about the prospects of winning them. This is a trade war that ironically is going to make America poorer because our consumers are going to pay more for the products they buy, and our producers are going to be less competitive because they're going to be paying more for inputs. I think it's quite fundamental to think about what the areas of cooperation are in a very different way, and to orient those to the interests of middle-class people everywhere. I don't see how you get there by raising the prices of the things that middle-class people buy. I don't see how you get there by making the businesses which they work at less competitive. I don't see how you get there by isolating the United States, by making national security arguments against importing steel from Canada. So I think that this kind of tearing down of the system seems to me to be very dangerous. I think that while one has to admire in an extraordinary way what China has accomplished in the last 30-some years, from bicycles to high-speed trains to cutting-edge technology, it's important to remember China faces formidable challenges, environmental issues, overbuilding, credit difficulties, a society that's going to age extremely rapidly, educational system that is more reliant on rote learning. So if I've learned one thing, it is the danger of extrapolative forecasting. And things may work out very well in China, but it's certainly no certainty. And I think it is going to be more difficult for countries to recapitulate the growth model that worked in East Asia, including in China, in part because of the terrific success China has had, in part because technology is going to mean that jobs that were once outsourced in search of low wages are now carried out domestically. So I think that developing countries are going to have to find their way in a world that's going to rely much more on service trade, that's going to rely much more on chains of production with components that are produced in many different countries. But ultimately, I think the much more rapid flow of information is likely to enable convergence at a more rapid rate between the developing world and the developed world than we've seen historically. We do benefit from global integration, but it's a process that's got to be managed.